back. In Taipei, protesters are still occupying the Legislative Yuan, demanding dialogue with President Ma Ying-jeou over a contentious cross-strait trade pact. They've threatened to escalate their action if their demand is not met, that is, by noon tomorrow. Jenny Lam reports.
Thousands of students and supporters of the opposition have been occupying the legislative building in Taipei since yesterday. This Hong Kong student, who is attending university in Taiwan, says it is important for the people of the island to safeguard democracy. He says he doesn't want Taiwan to go through what Hong Kong has had to endure. The protesters have given President Ma Ying-jeou and Parliament Speaker Wang Jinping until noon tomorrow to talk to them, or they will escalate their action. They want the government to withdraw a trade pact with the mainland and re-examine the deal clause by clause in a transparent manner. The crowd has been swelling outside the Parliament building since yesterday to include secondary school students. University professors who have been delivering their lectures there say this is an opportunity for students to learn about democracy. Parliament Speaker Wang Jinping refused to say if dialogue with the government is possible, but he stressed that the students' safety come first and promised not to remove them by force. Meanwhile, opposition to the trade pact is gaining momentum in other parts of Taiwan. More than 200 students from Tainan travelled overnight to Taipei to give their support. Students in the south are rallying for 2,000 people to join a sit-in at a train station in Kaohsiung. The mayor of Kaohsiung, Chen Chu, of the opposition Democratic Progressive Party, has joined in. The Cross-Strait Service Trade Pact was agreed within the framework of the Economic Cooperation Framework Agreement, or ACFA, signed by Taiwan and the Chinese mainland in 2010. Those who oppose it are worried that opening up the service sector in Taiwan to mainland companies will drive small and medium-sized companies on the island out of business and lead to job losses. They criticise the government for not being transparent in the initial review of the pact by the ruling Kuomintang and accuse the administration of forcing the deal on the people. Jenny Lam, TVB News.
The Toyota Motor Corporation has agreed to pay U.S. authorities a record $1.2 billion to resolve a criminal probe into safety issues. Toyota admitted it hid information about defects that caused some Toyota and Lexus cars to accelerate unexpectedly, in some cases causing injuries and deaths. Toyota's president and CEO, Akio Toyoda, said today he couldn't comment further on the settlement except to say he thought the case would be good for the industry in the long term. The company said it would be more responsive and customer-focused. The case attracted widespread publicity following a 2009 car crash in San Diego that killed a family of 4. Toyota admitted to misleading customers and regulators, assuring them it had addressed the problem with a recall. But the company did not recall other models it knew were susceptible to the same problem.
Customs officers have arrested 12 people for their alleged involvement in the sale of counterfeit facial masks. More than 5,000 boxes of the fake items were seized, but authorities say they pose no danger to consumers. Here's Stephanie Choi with that story.
These sheet facial masks look pretty real, don't they? Look closer.
You can see the lot number at the back of the product. That the fake one is quite loose and the font is slimmer. And most important of all, in our seizure, this lot of seizure, we find that the lot number ends with DB. So this is a strong indication that the goods itself is fake.
But the Customs and Excise Department says it cannot rule out the possibility that other lot numbers may also be fake. The Customs and Excise Department says the fake products generally have a more subdued scent. Some of them even contained mold. The department says this could be due to poor manufacturing and storage facilities. After receiving a complaint on the quality of a mask, customs officers conducted a search on an unnamed pharmacy in Tsim Sha Tsui, where they found fakes sold together with real ones. Both versions were sold at about $60 a box. They later found more sheet masks from 2 other retail stores in Yunlong. Other suspected fakes were discovered at an industrial building in Taipo and just 2 days ago at a storage center in Shengshui. More than 5,000 boxes, or about 51,000 sheets of counterfeit face masks were seized, adding up to a total value of about $266,000. 12 people were arrested. Among them, salespersons, shop owners, merchandisers, suppliers, and the suspected mastermind behind the syndicate operation. Although lab tests revealed no adverse health effects to users of these fake products, the department advises consumers to shop at reputable stores and urges retailers to stay vigilant. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
Former Chief Secretary Anson Chan has unveiled a set of political reform proposals that would grant more LegCo seats to directly elected legislators. The proposals will allow all registered voters a say in the composition of the future nominating committee for chief executive candidates. But as Joel De Silva reports, the plan by the group Hong Kong 2020 does not propose civil nomination of CE candidates.
In their reform proposal for the 2016 LegCo election, the total number of seats remains unchanged at 70. But among other changes, the group proposes increasing the number of directly elected legislators from 35 to 40. This would be achieved by converting the 5 so-called super seats into geographical constituency seats and reducing the overall number of functional constituency members to 30. It suggests abolishing the split voting system, which it claims allows for privileged groups to override the will of the vast majority of the electorate. And it calls for corporate or company voting for functional constituency seats to be replaced with voting by individuals who'd be able to vote in only one of the functional groupings. As for the nomination of CE candidates in 2017, its proposal follows 3 basic principles.
First, voters must be given a genuine choice of candidates. Secondly, there must be no unreasonable restrictions placed on the ability of people to vote or to stand for election. Thirdly, the system of nomination must not rule out potential chief executive candidates on the basis of their political affiliation.
Modelled after the current CE election committee, the future nominating committee would increase overall representation by once again abolishing corporate vote in its first, second and third sectors and by expanding the fourth sector from 300 to 500 seats, most of which would be directly elected by registered voters. The committee would thus see its membership expanded from 1,200 to 1,400. As for the body's procedures for nominating candidates, it suggests that any person that gets support from at least 1/10 of members from each of the 4 sectors would be a candidate. Each of the members would be able to cast only 1 vote, and no cap on the number of candidates would be imposed. It also proposes abolishing the current ban on candidates affiliated with political parties.
Because this proposal does not comprehend civil nomination of CE candidates, a method widely seen as a red line by many in the Democratic camp, it remains to be seen how much political support it will be able to gather. Joel De Silva, TVB News.
Former Hong Kong Governor Chris Patten expressed his shock today over last month's knife attack on local journalist Kevin Lau. But as Rani Samtani reports, Patten refused to get dragged into the debate on political reform.
Demonstrators chanted and waved colonial flags as Chris Patten arrived for the opening of a new exhibition at the Hong Kong Maritime Museum. They handed a letter to Patten expressing their concerns about press freedom in the city. Speaking to reporters before the opening ceremony, the former Hong Kong governor and now Chancellor of Oxford University commented on the recent attack on former Ming Pao chief editor Kevin Lau.
Hong Kong's a liberal society, and free press, autonomous universities, the rule of law are all the foundations of a free society. I'd like in particular to send my very best wishes to Kevin Lau for a very speedy recovery. It's very shocking, and I wish the police the best of luck in finding the perpetrators of these horrendous acts.
Patten also responded to questions about achieving universal suffrage for the 2017 CE election.
I understand why you would like my views on that. I also think you will understand why, as is my usual practice, I refuse to act like a football commentator on everything that happens in Hong Kong. You know my views about freedom and pluralism and democracy in Hong Kong. You know my views about one country, two systems. You know my views about the joint declaration and the basic law. They haven't changed and they never will change.
Patton will also attend other events during his stay in Hong Kong, including an Oxford University Alumni Association seminar. Ronnie Samtani, TVB News.
The chief executive of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Norman Chan, will serve a second 5-year term. Financial Secretary John Tsang announced Chan's reappointment today. He praised Chan for tackling challenges posed by the global financial crisis and maintaining the stability of the local financial and monetary systems. Norman Chan joined the government back in 1976. He later became vice chairman of Standard Chartered Bank Asia and was appointed chief executive of the Monetary Authority in 2009. All right, Chris, over to you for some sports.
Thanks. And Manchester United live to fight another day in the Champions League after overturning a 2-0 deficit against Greek side Olympiacos. The result eases some of the pain of their humiliating defeat to Liverpool last Sunday. Tony Sabine reports.
It was Manchester United and manager David Moyes' last roll of the dice, and for once, the Red Devils didn't disappoint. Urged on by home support, United overturned a 2-0 deficit against Olympiacos to win 3-0 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate. A hat-trick from Robin van Persie helped United to the quarter-finals, but Moyes wasn't getting carried away about his team's prospects.
But all I can tell you is that, we'll try and use it the best we can. It's a big job. I've got a lot of things I need to do. It's going to take time to happen. But tonight, I thought more importantly the players gave the crowd something after Sunday, and I thought the crowd responded brilliantly well tonight.
Last year's Champions League finalist Borussia Dortmund suffered a scare in their second leg, losing 2-1 at home to Zenit St. Petersburg. But having won the first leg 4-2 away, the Germans still qualify for the last 8, 5-4 on aggregate. Tony Sabine, TVB News.
And that is a wrap of our news.
Good night.
Good evening. It was foggy this morning, then mainly fine and warm in the afternoon. At 5 p.m., a cold front was moving across inland Guangdong and will reach the coastal areas tonight. Today's temperature up until 5 p.m., the Hong Kong Observatory recorded temperatures range from 19.2 to 25.2 degrees Celsius, and the current temperature is now standing at 22 degrees Celsius. So, Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow? It'll be cloudy and significantly cooler tomorrow. Temperatures will range from 15 to 18 degrees. Expect windy and cool mornings in the following few days. Tomorrow morning's air quality health index will range from moderate to high, and the maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 4. And now to the latest global weather update. Sunny in Shanghai, cloudy in Taipei and Xiamen. Cloudy in Guangzhou and Chengdu, rain in Macau. Sunny in Beijing, bright in Tokyo. Thunderstorms in Bangkok, showers in Ho Chi Minh City, bright in Manila. Showers in Kuala Lumpur, rain in Jakarta. Bright in New Delhi, sunny in Karachi and Mumbai. Sunny in Cairo, showers in Nairobi. Showers in Brisbane and Sydney, rain in Melbourne, bright in Auckland. Cloudy in Toronto, rain in New York. Cloudy in Vancouver, sunny in San Francisco. Bright in London, showers in Paris and Frankfurt, sunny in Zurich. And that's weather. Good night.